Hey, it's JD again. I've got a couple of packages here that I ordered before Christmas that I only picked up the other day, and I thought you might enjoy an unboxing of a couple of them. This one here, obviously, from SparkFun. So a couple of these things I did actually get for a particular project, and the other ones just because I saw them there, thought they looked interesting. But this one here is an Arduino Mega board. Now I haven't to date haven't had anything to do with Arduino at all, so it'll be interesting to see what the package, the software developments, tools, etc. are like, and what sort of things people have already done with them, and what sort of things I might end up doing with this. And it's interesting that there's not actually a whole lot on here, and I guess the magic for Arduino really is in being able to develop the firmware quick and easy. So that's the Arduino board there. So I haven't actually got any specific project for that, but I'm going to have a bit of a play with it. I might do some videos as I have a bit of a play with that one in the future. I bought a couple of Nokia LCD displays. Some of you might be familiar with these. It's an SPI interface, and I think it's I could be wrong, but I think it's 128 by 128 pixels, which is enough for, you know, menus, characters, icons. The refresh rate on these is very slow, so animated graphics, not so much good for, but you can get some pretty colourful menu displays. At least one of these, I'm going to be incorporating in a project that I've been gathering parts for, but I haven't really done any serious design work for yet. So I'll put them aside. And the other couple of things in this package, I thought it'd be interesting to have a look at. These are actually a bit bigger than what I thought they might be, but it's just some little thumb sticks. So there's a micro switch on the push down, and a couple of pots on on the two axes there. They're from SparkFun. And for the LCD displays, you can get carrier boards for them, but I'm going to have when I actually do the design for them, I'm going to actually try to put the surface mount connectors. Let's chip one out of the bag again there, and that's the the mate for it. See if we can get that in focus. And I think I know what's in the other bag. No, I don't. Oh yes, I do. Just on a whim, I bought a couple of Atmel AT Mega I can't remember what they were. AT Mega 168 microcontrollers. Not sure what I'm going to do with them. Just going to have a bit of a play with them. Probably the Atmel series is not one that I play with very often. I have done before, but that was some time ago. I do have an ISP for them, so that's a start. So probably over the coming weeks I'll have a bit of a play with the Arduino stuff and with the raw Atmel 80 mega tools for writing some code. So I've also got some other stuff from Farnell. I'm not sure what's in this. Some oscillators, and a couple of these were pretty expensive. I think at least one or two of these were somewhere in the range of 26 to $30 Australian, and in US dollars I guess that's I mean that's probably only $20 or so, maybe $18, $19, but still expensive for a single component. So what I'm using, I don't have an example of what I'm going to put them on at the moment. The circuit board hasn't arrived yet, but I've got a digital VGA interface, which at the moment the analog signals are coming out from digital using a resistor ladder. So I'm having a bit of a play with a VGA digital to analog converter, and these will be just trying a couple of different oscillators, and I got a couple of different frequencies. I wasn't quite sure what sort of differences these would have. I think there's a 50, maybe a 50, an 80, and a 200 megahertz oscillators in there. Some 32.768 kilohertz crystals, the 9SO8 series from Freescale. A lot of the microcontrollers have an internal oscillator, but if you want to run them on crystals, there's a PLL or an FLL inside the microcontrollers that can upconvert up to depends on the microcontroller, but you know, 18, I think up to 20 meg, but commonly I think around 18, maybe 16 megahertz. Try it. Play around with some incandescent light bulbs from the mains, turning on and off from the mains, the Max 232s, TTL to RS232 converters, some opto-coupling triac drivers. I think I actually bought the wrong ones. Well, whether they're the wrong ones depends on which project I go with, but this is the MOC 3041M, and this I believe is a zero crossing detect triac, and for what I really wanted to do, I wanted to get some non-zero crossing triac drivers, but we'll have a look at that. XB module. XB, I think it's the 1 milliwatt with the chip antenna. For what I want to do, they're not going to be transmitting to each other very long distances. There's an enclosure that I happen to have that I thought I might end up using. I thought I might put an LCD in there with a radio. I did think they were a little bit smaller, but and I was also looking at the little thumb roller balls, but I think in the end I did decide that for what I'm doing, it's going to be a simple interface, some micro switches raised up through the plastic. There's a battery compartment in the bottom. So that's a project which I thought I might get more done before the start of the year. This isn't going to be for me, it's going to be for somebody else, so it's a little bit of a challenge to hand over a piece of equipment to somebody and have them not turn their nose up at it. That's it for the moment.